Atlantic Regional Poll. That ranking could be in jeopardy after a wild finish in Greensburg. To the second half we go. See, Mickey Glenn would end up leaving the game later after suffering a jaw injury, but on this play, does what she does best. Hoop and Harm completes the old school three. Cal leads 57-50. The Griffins fighting for that sixth and final playoff spot in the West. They get some help from Tiara Stossel. Three ball bang ties the game at 59. Irina Kuko would answer with a layup, and that would give California a 61-59 lead. Meanwhile, Stossel at it again, only this time Schild hits the deuce, draws the damage, makes the foul shot. Seton Hill up by 1. Here's Paige Alviani with one of a couple of big threes. This one gives Seton Hill a 65-61 win. And here's those crazy last few seconds. Matt Hagee, Cody Jeanette with the call.
Sebon looking around, gives it to Mahadi. Mahadi, jumper! Good! Emma Mahadi has tied it! 6 seconds remaining.
There's still 6 seconds
Here
left.
comes Seton Hill. Alviani, the senior. From a long distance. Oh! Alviani at the buzzer!
Tough 72-69 loss for California. Emma Mahadi had a game-high 23 points and 7 rebounds. Meanwhile, Seton Hill clinched the 6th seed in the PSAC West after Clarion got blown out by Edinburgh, and Mercyhurst blew a late lead, lost to UPJ Wednesday night. And that'll set up Saturday's rematch in the first round of the women's tournament. Seton Hill, Cal, Part 3, Saturday night, 7 p.m. at the Convocation Center. The winner will go to Gannon on Tuesday night. Of the first round games on Saturday, IUP hosts UPJ. The winner will get Edinburgh on Tuesday. Over in the East, Bloomsburg will await Saturday's winner of the East Stroudsburg-Millersville game at Pusilo Gymnasium. Westchester will face either Kutztown or Shippensburg. And as for the rest of the regional rankings, Gannon and Glenville swapped top spots at the top of the rankings. Edinburgh and Bloom remain in 3 and 4. Virginia State in the 5-hole. They look to avenge their only loss of the season to number 8 Shaw in Friday's CIAA semifinal in Charlotte, North Carolina. Fairmont State just ahead of Cal, but the Falcons lost to Notre Dame of Ohio Tuesday night, and there's Fayetteville State lurking in 9th. The Broncos will play Virginia Union in the other CIAA semi on Friday. With their backs against the wall and a playoff berth at stake, the Cal U men's basketball team trailed by as many as 21 just before halftime, but Bill Brown's boys rallied and willed their way to a big win at Seton Hill Wednesday night. To Greensburg we go, and not a lot of scoring early on. It took 3 minutes before somebody finally scored. In this case, it was Oliver McGlade with the 3-ball. That would start a 20-5 run. Here's Nate Perry, 3-ball, bang. That caps that run. Towards the end of the first half, here's Chris Williams. Drives the lane, the layup is good. Seton Hill on the ensuing inbound. I got it, you got it. No you don't. Tynell Fortune, though, at the buzzer, hits the 3-ball. That is as big a shot as you'll get from the little man. Seton Hill leads 33-17 at halftime. Meanwhile, second half, California raining threes on the Griffins. Drew Cook, 3-ball, bang. 37-30 Seton Hill at that point. Here's the turning point of the game. David Windsor fouls Jake Jakubek. He runs away from the ref, draws the tee. Jakubek hits 4 foul shots, makes it a 3-point Seton Hill lead. There's Tynell Fortune moving around, zigging and zagging, hitting the 3. That ties it at 46. And meanwhile, Armin Marks on the mark, gives Cal the lead for good, 59-58. And Jake Jakubek with the dagger. Ding, dong, kaboom. Vulcans win 62-58. 4 Vulcans finish in double figures, led by Armin Marks, game-high 19 points. Jakubek with 14 points, Fortune with 12. The Vulcans clinched the 6th and final seed in the PSAC West, winning a tiebreaker with UPJ despite the Mountain Cats beating Mercyhurst on Wednesday. That'll set up the first round of the PSAC tournament. And speaking of Mercyhurst, California will travel to Erie in hopes of a miracle on 38th Street when they face the Lakers. Winner will face IUP Tuesday night. Meanwhile, Seton Hill travels to Slippery Rock, the winner getting a trip to the Hammermill Center Tuesday night to face top-seeded Gannon. Over in the East, Lock Haven, fresh off their first winning season in 21 years, hosts Millersville, what should be a wild Thomas Fieldhouse. Meanwhile, winner of that game will get East Stroudsburg on Tuesday. Kutztown at Bloomsburg. Golden Bears are hoping for a repeat of Wednesday night when they beat the Huskies at Nelson Fieldhouse. Excuse me. Westchester awaits the winner of that game on Tuesday. Cal U's men's and women's club hockey teams will compete for national championships in a couple of weeks. On the men's side, the Cal 1 team will travel to Coral Springs, Florida. They will face Ole Miss, Aurora's Blue Team, and Davenport. Meanwhile, the women will travel to Newark, Delaware to face Wisconsin lacrosse March 13th, then Michigan State the next day. Semifinals and finals for both tournaments will take place on St. Patrick's Day weekend. And we were alluding to the Field Hockey Club forming earlier in the newscast, and I brought back some flashbacks. I was fourth grade at Exton Elementary outside Philly. I was on a co-ed field hockey team. That didn't end too well. So, do you have any fond memories of competing athletically?
Well, I threw for my track team in high school, Daniel Newman High School, and I was only 3 years. But in my final throw, my senior year, I made counties on my last throw, thus giving me the name Matty Ice for my friends.
This one goes back a little further. I played little league soccer with my best friend, and her and I, we were the shortest kids on the team, but we were definitely we were scrappy little ones. I still remember it all, and I love it.
Yeah, it's funny, Matt, you bring up track. I had tried that a little myself in junior high. That didn't fare well either. But speaking of track, the Cal U's men's and women's track team will be at Bucknell University for the PSAC Indoor Championships this weekend. And one final note, baseball, weather permitting, 3-game set with Bloomsburg this weekend. For updates, calvulcans.com.
Thanks, Creighton. And finally, the Academy Awards will air this Sunday on ABC. To honor Oscar's annual party, we thought we'd share with you a classic piece of Hollywood Oscar video from the early 70s featuring the late David Niven and an uninvited guest.
Now, to divulge the contents of this year's most important envelope is a very important contributor to world entertainment, and someone, quite likely... Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was almost bound to happen. But isn't it fascinating to think that probably the only laugh that man will ever get in his life is by stripping off and showing his shortcomings.
He held his composure very well. I wouldn't have known what to do. I would have been I would have just walked off stage.
Yeah, I would have been laughing hysterically, but that's, gosh, that is so funny.
That was good. That will do it for this week's edition of News Center.
Be sure to check out our live video feed on our website, cutv.calu.edu, and also check out our YouTube page at CUTV News Center.
Thanks for watching and have a great week.